an isolated Pacific island, the Navy lands a party of daring scientists to solve the mysterious disappearance of an entire atomic research team. Strange horror strikes first at the plane that brought them. And then, earth-shattering tremors begin tearing the island to shreds.
Okay, Professor. How are the crabs blowing up the island?
I am not sure. But imagine they are able to send out arcs of heat. They are packed with it.
They can melt and fuse parts of the caverns, explode the materials contained, and bring about the slides. There used to be ridges there for maybe 2 miles.
Now there's less than half a city block. Soon we will have nowhere to run.
Fathoms deep among the terrors of the mighty Pacific, daring skin divers brave undersea perils that stagger the imagination. Here are monsters with razor-sharp claws that hand grenades and dynamite cannot stop. Nor searing fire and flame, nor tons of crushing rocks, as mankind faces its last desperate chance.
Is there life on Mars? For centuries, we have wondered. Now, for the first time, through the new photographic miracle of cinemagic, you will see the wonders of this strange and terrifying world when you see the angry red planet. Join this daring crew, the first in the scientific race between nations to attempt to land on Mars.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire.
Blast off from Earth with courageous astronauts Gerald Moore, Nora Hayden, Les Tremaine, Jack Kruschen. Travel thousands of miles through space to the unknown. Cinemagic is not being shown to you now, but this wild land comes alive in Cinemagic. You'll see buildings miles high in Cinemagic. Journey to the center of sudden terror in Cinemagic. Be trapped by the tentacles of man-devouring plants in Cinemagic. Feel the fire-hot breath of a 40-foot monster as it reaches for you in Cinemagic. Your eyes will see the wonders of a world no eyes in this world have ever seen before.
I wonder, will we ever get back to Earth? Come on, darling.
Is the seventh planet a world with a seventh sense? Can they make things and people appear and disappear?
Who opened the airlock?
Have they new and terrifying powers of mind over matter?
His arms frozen.
Can they reach deep into your subconscious to make you feel terrors more horrifying than you know of?
Give us an hour. If we don't show up, you'll know you don't have to wait any longer.
You have come to destroy me. But my weapons are more powerful than yours. Your own fears have created the means of your destruction.
Should be any minute now. I hope the military did not track the re-entry.
They probably did. Best we can hope for is that they weren't tipped off beforehand and didn't have time to scramble their birds and pinpoint us. I was at the Pentagon once. It's got screen doors. I thought it was hilarious. Chintzy, but probably just another way for them to spy on us better. There it is! Interesting. A rocket landing looks just like a rocket taking off, only backwards. Should we approach?
Could be radiation.
The girl!
Oh, the heck with radiation. Come on!
Mrs. O'Irish, can you hear us?
Yes.
Do you know who I am?
I don't know. It's such a long trip. I'm disoriented.
I'm the one who recruited you.
Are you a very powerful person?
Hi, I'm Agent X. Come in, we'll find your seat.
So why exactly did you ask us here?
You're the best in your field. At least the best I could find. And this is going to be the opportunity of your lives. I guarantee it.
Well, we're really busy.
No, you're not.
And we're almost out of money.
Not if we fund you for another 10 years.
Well, what's the scoop?
Yeah, why is this up?
Well, as soon as my subordinate gets here, there she is now. This is my associate, Agent Y, and Professor Johnson.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Shano Irish, and this is my wife, Iris.
He's joking. My name is April. He just calls me Iris.
Why? Because she's Irish.
Only by marriage, unless 1/16 counts.
Better than nothing. Wouldn't you agree, Agent X?
I have no dogs in the fight. So, no strong opinions. Anyway, we need to get to the reason for your being here, since the optimum launch window is closing. Liftoff will be in 1 hour, right after sunset.
Liftoff?
All of you have top clearance. You know the United States landed a manned mission on the moon in 1955, beating the Soviets by 3 months. So the current race they're engaged in right now is window dressing.
Yes. It's kind of silly. A waste of resources, really.
But it's too late now for either side to admit the truth.
The secret race for Mars, however, is very real, and we are going to save resources in the future by winning the race ourselves.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that you're prepping a launch to Mars?
Yes.
When?
Tonight. From right here. As I said, the window is closing in an hour.
What do we have to do with it?
Because you three are the crew.
So we're astronaut farmers?
That's correct.
Excuse me, comrade, but there's been a change of plan.
Well, let's back up a bit. Who created this plan in the first place? Look at us. Iris and I are both 60 years old, and me, I'm way out of shape.
You've both been vetted. You're in pretty good shape for the shape you're in, and we need your expertise.
I ain't going airborne for no Ruskies.
Don't worry. Agent X and I are from the Eastern Bloc, yes, but we don't represent the Soviet Union.
Then who do you represent?
A worldwide consortium of private business interests. Entrepreneurs.
You mean the Illuminati? The 38 Steps? What?
They prefer to remain nameless, but the object is to launch immediately, beat both the US and the Soviets to Mars, and go public. That way, they'll have to call the race off. Both sides will save money and reduce their deficit. Prosperity all around.
Of course, your consortium will be sole owners of the data and samples you bring back, and of any great discoveries you might make.
Of course.
Very lucrative position.
Where's the ship?
You must have missed it for the trees, but it's right behind the house in the back 40.
Unusual expression for you?
I'm used to thinking in hectares.
Well, let's hope the folks who built the ship, with whatever technology you appropriated from government files, knew how to swap back and forth between English and metric. Be a pity if the thing crashed on landing or takeoff.
It's been tested. You'll be safe.
I was just chatting. I never said I was going.
You have to go. Both of you.
Who says?
There's a lot writing on it. Do you really want to spend the rest of your life checking your engine and your tailpipe every time you start your car?
Well, since you put it that way.
Professor Johnson will be the mission commander. Sean, you're the backup pilot and in charge of navigation, computer system, weapons, aerology, and zoology. April, you're in charge of botany.
Aerology?
You're a qualified geologist, are you not?
Yes.
Aerology is just like geology, but on Mars.
I can do most of those things just as well as he can, and I'm a better pilot too. Why does he get all the titles?
Because he's a man?
Excuse me, comrade, but I've been trying to tell you.
Tell me what?
Professor Johnson has to be scratched from the mission.
What?
He's joined another agency.
NASA?
No, SAG. He just got back from an assignment in the Pacific, fighting giant crabs that were created by nuclear testing. He's still recovering from his injuries. And shortly, he's going to be assigned to help some folks marooned on a desert isle. So, the agency says he has to rest up right now. Can't take on any other jobs.
I'm really sorry about this, Agent X, but I take orders just like you do.
Well, this is a fine howdy-do. How am I supposed to complete the mission?
Improvise.
Why didn't you tell me about it before?
You would have gotten upset.
Upset? I'll show you upset. Do you know how much we could have saved if we built the ship as a 2-seater instead of a 3?
Sorry, comrade. Take a deep breath. Focus.
All right. Fine. Sean, you're the mission commander. In addition to your other assigned duties. April, you're the backup pilot. Obviously.
I don't suppose you ever considered me as commander?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Because you're a woman.
You're a woman, for crying out loud.
And there is only room for a finite number of us in the position of power.
Excuse me, Sean. You're a good pilot, right?
I've flown a lot of aircraft. I guess they're telling me I'm going to fly a spaceship too, sight unseen. What I enjoy most is sailing.
So if you've piloted a small boat, you could be brave and sure?
Of course.
Well, we might have a spot for you in my next assignment, then. You'd have to shave your beard, though.
Why?
It's the rules. All the guys have to have a certain look. The first mate's going to have to shave, too. Oh, and April, would you be interested in posing as a millionaire's wife?
Sounds okay to me. Do I get to keep the money afterwards?
That could be negotiated.
Do you have someone for the millionaire? Might as well keep a couple together, don't you think?
We don't have anyone yet, but you don't qualify. You're just a little too old.
Iris and I are the same age.
Exactly.
Okay, fine. We'll take a look at whatever assignments you offer.
Would we have to join SAG, too?
Yes.
Are the requirements difficult?
Well, if you saw us in our birthday suits, I think we'd qualify.
Excuse me? But I have less than an hour to prep and train a makeshift crew. Do you mind pitching this other assignment to them later if they get back?
You mean when, right?
I mean, beat it, Professor.
I'll vac him out.
Now, let's get down to business. I have jumpsuits for both of you right over there. Please put them on quickly. There are spacesuits, weapons, and everything else you need on board the ship.
Hey, I wanted to thank you for getting me out of that suicide mission.
Did you think that I just married you for a green card? I'm glad you survived the crabs.
Yeah. And fighting those nuki crustaceans was a challenge, too. Oh, you literally meant crabs. Yeah, that was kind of dangerous.
Giant crabs can't move that fast, can they?
No, but when they ate the brains of some humans, they acquired human intelligence. And they gained their victims' memories and the ability to speak with their victims' voices. They call for help in order to lure new victims into their traps.
Are you making this up? It sounds pretty incredible.
You are about to launch a backyard rocket to Mars, and you're worried about credulity. By the way, if you want to pass as an ordinary American, you have to say nuclear, not nuclear.
Well, excuse me.
Speaking of the launch, Agent X, she sees everything, knows everything. How did you manage to snow job her?
Well, I had to call in a lot of favors, but I was able to get the hold of the Martian satellite data and covered my tracks for having accessed it, and removed all records of our relationship from your files and from mine.
How can I ever repay you?
Well, my job security is in danger, so I'm not really looking forward to peeling potatoes in Siberia for the next 10 years. Do you have an opening on your next assignment?
Well, the movie star position is taken, but if you work on that accent, we might be able to find you a spot with the rest.
You have everything you might need. There are probe satellites in orbit around Mars, and it appears that the atmosphere is breathable. But just in case, there are spacesuits and helmets.
Is there any evidence of life there?
No, not really. But we can't rule it out either. You'll have to find out. On the ground.
What if we encounter something hostile?
You have standard munitions. And the freeze gun.
If that's not enough?
Sean will be given special activation codes that he can send to our Martian satellites, along with the underground coordinates.
Like calling in an airstrike?
Yes. And in dire circumstances, he can even order a nuke.
Nuke? I'm getting a little old for this sort of thing.
Only for extreme emergencies. But just so you know, it's there.
Oh, and I take it you're not considering giving me the codes?
Do you really have to ask?
So, what about the satellite data?
It shows Mars has life. Intelligent life. A civilization, but Agent X isn't going to tell our tenderfoot guinea pigs that.
What level civilization?
We're not sure. Maybe quite high. We've lost some of our satellites, otherwise we'd know more.
Lost them? You mean they just went dark?
We think the Martians shot them down.
Well, that seems like a pretty high-level civilization. Are there any weapons on the satellites?
No. She's going to tell them that they are, and that they can use them, but they can't. And their onboard weapons don't work properly either.
You are sending them to that place without warning them? Why aren't you warning them?
We need to test how aggressive their civilization is. So we're sending in a mission that doesn't pose any real threat. If they kill the crew or shoot down the ship, then we'll know what we're dealing with. Just be glad you're not in on it.
Your onboard computer is about half the weight of a battleship. It has 256K of RAM, and when you need a calculation, the tape drives automatically load and thread the right spools. The TOS is top-notch. It'll find the data you need in less than 10 minutes. Mars is approaching the position, so it's ideal lunchtime. Shortest travel time, both ways. You can be there and back in about 3 months. Your interplanetary cruising speed will be 1 mile per second.
Excuse me, but 5 miles per second is minimum Earth orbit velocity. 8 miles per second is escape velocity.
Well, I'm just repeating it as I remember it. I'm not a propeller head. That's why you guys get to fly, and I stay behind as a ground support. Maybe it was acceleration, not speed.
If the ship accelerated at 1 mile per second, we'd hit the speed of light in about 2 days.
Well, I don't know. You figure it out. Read the onboard manuals.
Thanks for the stellar ground support.
Fortunately, we're not going to Alpha Centauri, so it doesn't have to be stellar.
Are you ready to see the command capsule?
Probably all cramped like a World War II submarine. I take it back. This ain't bad at all.
Agent X, do you read?
Quite a bit, actually. I read Winnie the Pooh in Latin last week.
Very funny. I meant, do you read me? But I guess I got my answer.
Your launch is completely automated. The ignition is in 2 minutes. Just sit back and relax.
So let me guess. You're not really humorless? You just were under a lot of stress? Now that we're in launch mode, you can relax and crack jokes?
Yeah, kinda.
So, what's the title of the Latin version?
Winnie the Pooh.
Illy? Funny word for the.
Actually, Latin likes both definite and indefinite articles. So the translator had to use a demonstrative pronoun.
Winnie, that particular poo?
Something like that.
No wonder it's a dead language. How can you get anything done without articles?
Russian doesn't have them either.
Well, there you go.
The character of the people is more important than the language that they speak.
I agree.
When the Americans started secretly putting astronauts into orbits and then sending them to the moon, they spent $50 million to invent a ballpoint pen that would write in zero gravity.
So?
The Soviets just used a pencil until you perfected the ballpoint.
Okay, Agent X, you got me.
Are you both sitting down securely?
I am.
Yes, ma'am.
Good, because lunch is in 5 seconds. Have a prosperous journey. See you in 3 months.
Well, that wasn't so bad.
Escape velocity in 10 seconds. It's amazing. But I feel like a pancake.
Or luck.
I can do without luck.
So let's just say I like a little sugar on my pancake.
Yeah, okay.
Are you reading?
Yes, we're working on the Canterbury Tales in Mandarin Chinese.
The high acceleration should have abated a few seconds ago.
It did. It was like a big sigh in the G-force.
From here on, the rockets will maintain just enough thrust to give you arc grav.
Thanks. Sweet of you.
Our current speed is 327,000.
327,000?
That's in furlongs per fortnight, of course.
Yes, of course.
I've checked the onboard manuals. Looks like we'll reach Mars in about 29 parsecs. That sound right to you?
I guess so.
Wait a minute.
Sean, whatever you do, do not ask her for any help on this trip. She is dumber than a box of rocks.
Gotcha.
Anyone who doesn't know that a parsec is a measure of distance has no reason to be in on this mission, not even as a bumbling bureaucrat.
Hello?
So what career would you recommend for her?
I don't know. Writing sci-fi screenplays, perhaps?
Are you reading? Are you okay? The transmission cut out on me.
We're fine.
Good. I'll sign off now. I'll check in once a day. Have a great flight.
With you shepherding us, how could we not? Well, this evening turned out a little different than I'd planned on.
What were you planning on?
I thought that after the meeting with Agent X, I'd just take you out to Martinelli's for pizza.
Martinelli's. Great memories. Our first date. I suppose we're a little out of their delivery area.
I could tip extra.
Or powdered pizza. Just add filtered water, tomato sauce, and palatability optional. I made that last part up myself.
We'll survive one way or the other.
I guess it just hasn't sunk in yet. This all happened so fast. But it's an honor to go where no man has gone before. Especially since I'm not a man.
And I'm honored to be making the journey with my best friend.
Just think, we could start the Million Mile High Club.
How much is that in furlongs?
Oh. Co-pilot to pilot, Mars landing in 3 minutes.
You can stay up there if you want. The landing sequence is all pre-programmed, just like the launch.
No. I want to be back here with you, hold your hand. If we crash, live for 1,000th of a second longer.
The ship lands butt first, remember?
1,000th of a second shorter then. I want to be with you. I want to face this together.
What do you think we'll find there?
I don't know. Maybe nothing. Maybe something really scary.
Scarier than the professor's giant crabs?
Sure. Giant bat rat spider crabs. Giant man-eating plants. Oh, I'm glad I'm not a man.
Giant amoebas.
Amoebe.
Nobody says amoebe.
You calling me a nobody?
You running off at the mouth because you're nervous?
Yes.
You're the botanist. I'm the zoologist. Leave the amoebas to me.
If we recognize Kingdom Protista, they're up for grabs.
If we recognize Protista, don't we have to change biology to triology? And I'd have to pull the ship over and park it in orbit while I wait for Agent X to send us a third specialist.
That'd be okay.
One problem. Too late!
Oh. Well, that wasn't so bad either.
Landing is just like takeoff, only backwards.
Oh, the air is breathable. Atmospheric pressure is 0.8 of Earth's. Oxygen's 18%.
We could put on suits anyway, just to be safe.
Oh, I'll go without. Either you trust your instruments or you don't. Remember, the general directive in the manual said, no bearing arms without a good reason.
No more orders, co-pilot.
I thought you were military. Sean! You're not going to believe this! This looks just like the place we took off from on Earth. The trees they're familiar species.
Guess I was more right than I knew about landing being the same as takeoff.
Looks like they could use little cat Z here. It can't be. That looks just like the house we met Agent X at. What's that?
Probably a car.
I know that, but what kind? I've never seen anything like that.
Looks kind of like a 40 Ford sedan.
Or like a 39, because the headlight and taillight trim was more flush to the body, and the grille was a one-piece.
But the grill bars were vertical on the 39, horizontal on the 40. This is kind of an in-between.
They didn't make a 39 and a half.
Actually, they did make a few hybrids to use up old parts, but... Listen to us, will ya? Why are we wasting time on this stupid conversation? Ain't gonna be any Fords on Mars.
There's a logo on the hood. What does it say?
I was right. It's not a Ford.
Well?
That's a Chrysler.
You know, there's a theory about this.
What?
Parallel worlds, parallel development, doppelgangers.
I thought that'd be like another solar system with a planet almost like Earth. Or another Earth that just appears from somewhere next to our own. Or maybe a second Earth that was always in our orbit but on the opposite side of the sun where everything's left-handed.
Those are all possibilities too, but right now we have to play the hand we're dealt.
Shouldn't this car say Chrysler Mars, just to avoid confusion?
I'll let you figure that one out. So, you ready for the next step?
What's that?
Ring the doorbell, silly. If this is going to be one wild ride, we might as well cut to the heart of it.
I'm not sure I want to know who or what's behind that door.
Me neither. But we don't have a choice. We're on a mission.
Aliens approaching.
Right on schedule.
Come in, come in. Let's find you a seat. Oh, forgive me. I understand you might be a bit shocked. Why aren't you shocked?
We've monitored your satellite and spaceship's transmissions, so we've been expecting you, April and Sean. Who are you? I'm May McScott. This is my husband, Seamus.
Come on in, let's talk. Don't be shy. Thank you. No offense, but I might have preferred bat rat spider crabs. Don't see any green stuff oozing.
We assume you have some questions. So many that we hardly know where to begin. Well, I'll just chat a bit and see where it takes us, okay? Okay. As you can see, there are a lot of close parallels between Mars and Terra Luna. Terra Luna?
That's what we call your planet and its moon. You have to remember, your moon is much bigger as a percentage of its planet than any other configuration in the solar system.
Except for Pluto and Charon. Charon? You'll find out. Some of our scientists used to advocate that we should consider Terra Luna a double planet rather than a planet-moon system. It wasn't until a few years ago when we developed the technology to observe humans on Terra through your TV broadcasts that the one-planet view finally prevailed.
What would that have to do with it? We can go over that at another time.
I see some fancy gadgets here in the house, and that Chrysler outside looks kind of futuristic from our perspective.
Are you asking whether our technology is more advanced than yours, as opposed to just developed in a slightly different direction?
I guess so, but the answer's pretty obvious. If you've been watching our television broadcast and we didn't even know you existed. You're right. In terms of your years, we're about 55 years ahead of you. What you'd call 2015.
So you've already done some interplanetary exploration? Perhaps. What does that mean? It means it's classified. Great. Spooks and gumshoes and CIA here too? And we haven't even met Eggs and Dex's double yet.
All the comforts of home.
So it's the same baloney everywhere? Ordinary Martians just pay their taxes and have no idea what the elite is up to? I didn't say the info was classified from our people. We're a trusting and open-faced race. We've eliminated war, poverty, and suffering. We don't need the kind of secrecy that you Terralings are infected with.
But we have to be careful what we say to you. You've landed here, uninvited, and we're unsure of your intentions. The entire planet has been put on alert to avoid having any contact with you without permission. So, you're our official welcoming committee, but you're under a strict protocol? Correct.
Well, that makes our job a little harder. But I guess we'd feel the same way if the shoe was on the other foot.
If it were on the other foot.
Here we're in a crisis situation and she's correcting my grammar. My grammar wouldn't like it. May she rest in peace.
Why do you call it a crisis? Are your intentions hostile?
No. Look, we can only stay here a few days at most. We've got a limited relaunch window in order to have enough fuel to get home. And our assignment is to collect all the data we can. We're just trying to do our jobs.
I have a question. You folks are our doubles, and we all seem about the same age. Obviously. But if your civilization is further advanced, regardless of how you count time, then that's not an exact parallel. Either we were born too early, or you were born too late. No, it's a valid parallel. Seamus and I are both about 30 in Martian years. Remember, our years are almost twice as long as yours. So all of us were born about 1900 Earth time? Yes, that's pretty much it. But that's still a mismatch because...
I'm afraid you're thinking too hard. And you're getting into some areas that we can't discuss. Just think of it this way. Your standard star charts on Terra Luna, did they tell you a star's actual position?
Well, not quite. Usually they show what the star's position was in 1900. We have to modify that by the proper motion since then.
Same for us. Now, your computers. If you enter a value of 1 and tell a computer to format it as a date, what would it be interpreted as? January 1st, 1900. Same with ours. Of course, that's not our name for it, but it's the same actual date. Think of that as a universal fixed point in time.
A who?
Right. She means a what?
What's on second?
I don't know.
So even our culture is identical.
Similar, not identical. A lot of other problems come to mind with this scenario. How can you have all the same people that we do when your planet is smaller? And if you've eliminated war, poverty, and suffering, then there are people alive here whose counterparts on Earth are dead. And some of them must have had children that their earthly doubles didn't. Again, you're trying too hard. Okay, I'll ask it simply. Does everyone on Earth have a double here and vice versa?
You could pretty much say that. So it's a one-to-one correspondence then.
No comment. Look, that follows logically. It's just a natural outcome of my question. Then why does she have to ask it? Because that's how women talk. They like to ask the same question twice. Either rephrase it or say, really? You know what I mean, right? Maybe I do. Come on, don't you get asked the same question twice a lot? Pretty much all the time. Well, there you are.
There are so many things we need to ask. Things about biology, history, geology. I mean, areology.
You screwed up, folks. Put out an extra edition.
Mo, stop the presses!
You were saying? I'm glad we don't act like that.
Me too. Me 3.
I'm sorry, folks. It wasn't very professional, but I'm feeling a little punchy and woozy.
Me too. I apologize. Well, you folks were keeping a fixed system of day and night during flight, as you should. And right now would normally have been your sleep period. How did you know that?
I know everything, remember? Probably even the color of our underwear. So, Mrs. McScott, you're saying we have rocket lag?
It makes sense. Look, maybe you should go back to your ship and rest for a few hours. Come back after sunset. My husband will maybe have a guest or two over and throw you a welcoming party.
All officially approved personnel, of course. Naturally. No, you throw the ball to who? Sorry, folks. Guess I went to the well once too often on that. Anyway, is Agent X going to be here? I'm not following you. This house is her office or something, right? No, it's our home. Well, that's weird. See this house and that whole spread out back? It's a duplicate of the place we took off from on Earth. But it wasn't our residence there. Not everything is a duplicate. Well, I guess it's time.
Yeah, it's changed from light pink to dark pink outside.
You ready?
Truthfully, I don't think I can go. I'm still disoriented and now I'm getting nauseated too.
I'm sorry. I should go anyway. We're here to learn what we can. Will you be all right?
Sure. Maybe I'll join you later. It's just a hop, skip, and a jump. Meanwhile, I'll try to raise Earth on the radio. We got line of sight. I don't know why we couldn't reach them today.
Yeah, do that.
Hello, Sean. Come in. The party is just getting started.
I knew you'd be here. Would have bet my bottom dollar on it.
I'm sorry, what?
You're Agent X, or whatever they call you up here.
I'm Agent Z, liaison to Martian High Council for interplanetary issues.
Whatever. To be honest, your counterpart on Earth ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. I hope you're different.
I think there's a misunderstanding.
How's that?
I'm aware of the underground team that sent you here.
Because you monitor their communications and whatnot?
We monitor everything. Can't be too cautious.
So what's the misunderstanding?
I'm not a double of the person in Teleruna that you call Agent X.
You're not?
No.
You sure look like her. Any idea who you are the double of?
Yes, Agent Y.
What? Well, I guess you look a little bit like her, but you're different ages. I think you're full of baloney.
Our years are different lengths than yours, and we have different way of marking time.
Yeah, I get that, but that doesn't explain it. How can I be the same biological age as Seamus if you're a different age from Agent Y?
She and I were born at variable points in time.
I still don't understand.
Did you understand the parallel between yourself and Seamus?
Not really.
Well then, you're no worse off than you were before. Let's have a drink, shall we? I think the old records sounded better, especially the 78s.
What kind of racket is this? Why do the guys have girly hair?
You're not ready for it yet, but your grandkids would have loved it.
You know we never had kids.
Of course. And if you couldn't have kids, usually your kids can't have kids either.
Well, April's pretty healthy for her age. Hasn't stopped falling off the roof yet, so there's still a chance.
No, there is not.
Well, hello, Sean. Welcome back.
Hi. You look different somehow.
1.5 times as far from Seoul as you are. We only get 2/3 the heat. We have to make our own heat. So when the sun goes down, the skirt comes up.
Actually, heat and light reception vary as the inverse square of distance.
I knew that.
This music seems a little familiar.
That's an old hit record by Skinny Chess.
Dancing to that could be kind of dangerous if you didn't have a skinny chest.
By the way, where's your wife?
Not feeling well. She might be over later. Feels good not to have to ration everything.
I can imagine. So, a bit nauseated, is she?
Who told you that?
Seamus and me mentioned it.
Right. She never told them she felt nauseated, just woozy. She wasn't nauseated until she woke up. I avoided using the onboard potty before coming here. The less we do that, the less we have to make the Constellation Orion when we go back. I'm gonna go find the head.
Can I talk to you for a second?
Kinda got a nature call going. Who are you? What do you want?
My name is Eb.
Eb? How do you spell it?
E-B-B. And sometimes we pronounce it with just one B. For short.
Yeah, sure. What's your last name?
Melchior.
The Gladstones? Hey, we got these guys too. They just debuted on TV a few weeks ago. A few weeks before we left, I mean. But we call them something different. Should like to take a gander at these. Back home, we're waiting to see if Gleason sues him and takes him off the air.
Debuted a few weeks ago. Have you been drinking?
Not really, just getting started. But I think you have.
That's what parties are for.
So what do you want to talk to me about?
I can probably save you 30,000 kryptonite on car insurance.
Oh, great. They got you guys up here, too. Car insurance, huh? What's so special about it?
Not much. It's regressive.
That's the company name?
Not necessarily. All insurance is regressive, meaning it takes a bigger slice of a poor person's paycheck than rich people.
And pretty much every household expense does that, right?
Yeah, they mostly do. Mostly.
And you guys are parasites. Realtors, car salesmen, insurance agents. Bastions of capitalism. Making a living out of selling people stuff they don't want or need.
People do need all of those things.
Yeah, but they don't need your brand. Your hidden charges, upsells, and coverage exclusions.
What year's your car?
1960 Catalina. Got it in September, the night before they pulled the sheets off the new models. Demo with 3,000 miles. They took 30% off the Monroney sticker. Every year it's the same thing. Car companies create a new look, big media campaign, as though the minimal changes in the body design are the greatest thing since sliced bread. But really, the car's the same as last year. Tungsten and rubber from Vietnam, whale oil in the tranny fluid, and so much chrome from Rhodesia that it's more of a Christmas tree than a car.
What are you... you're using Earth terminology. Guess it goes with the occasion. Cool. Well, that'd be a classic car, so I could only save you about 20,000 on that.
Classic? I just told you it's only a year old. Now the 57 Bel Air that I traded in, that'll probably be a classic someday. Sweet car. I'd always had Chevys, but I was driving downtown that night to the Chev dealership and saw the Pontiac sign and decided to try something else. Kind of hard to miss the Pontiac sign. I confess they got me that time. What you call impulse buying. Same as in the grocery store, where what you really need is way in back. So you gotta walk by all the silly stuff. And then the candy and cigs are right up by the checkout. Candy bars all have little faces on them. They're looking up at you and saying, "Please buy me."
Sure you haven't been drinking?
Sure. I am feeling a little weird. What's this about kryptonite?
You know, dinero, cheddar, loot.
Kryptonite's a unit of currency? How'd that happen? Is it a pun on greenbacks or something?
It's because of how it's backed. Everybody knows that.
It's backed by kryptonite?
It's backed by Krypton, silly. There's no such element as kryptonite.
Yeah, I know there isn't really, but there's one in fiction.
Well, we got tired of having our money be fictitious. That's why it's backed now.
I'm confused here.
To have stable currency, you have to have it backed by something that's rare. And there's nothing rarer than Krypton. It's a gas!
Would you cut that out? It's bad enough when Iris does that.
Who?
April.
You mean me?
Yes. May.
Now I get it. You're doing method acting, right? Getting ready for your trip. Good idea.
Yeah, the trip. Let's say I'm learning about Mars from scratch. So forget protocol. Tell me everything I'd want to know.
And you'll just pretend you're Sean? And then we'll just wing it? Sure, whatever helps.
It'd be a golden opportunity for Sean. He could learn about the future of his own planet.
Well, that's not entirely true. There are some parallels, but there are also some differences too.
Such as?
Well, Mars is smaller and has a different climate.
Yeah, I already asked Seamus about some of that, but he blew off all my questions. Almost as though he were hiding something.
Yeah, almost.
So what about the climate?
Well, we're dry here. Our pinkish red color comes from iron oxide. A few hundred years ago, we dug out the canals and then melted most of our polar caps in order to bring water to the tropical regions. That's not something you want to do on Terra. Your surface is already 3/4 water. How we envy you.
Okay, got it. So let's go to something else. Refresh me some more on the currency.
Well, our paper notes used to be backed by gold. But then they started issuing more notes than what there was real gold for. Fractional reserve. Betting that not too many people would want to trade the notes in at the same time.
Same thing on Earth.
After we won the first planetary war, there was a run on gold. Because the planetary bankers who'd financed both sides of the war demanded to trade in their gold notes for real gold. And there wasn't that much real gold in our vaults. Not that much in the whole planet, actually. The president confiscated all private gold, made it illegal for citizens to own it, but it still wasn't enough to pay off the debt. So he went to a system where paper notes were considered real money, were redeemable only in themselves, and had whatever value the government said they had. We started having hyperinflation.
This all sounds pretty familiar. But you eventually fixed the system? How'd that happen?
Well, there was the second planetary war, thanks to the defective terms that ended the first one. More death, more debt. People got sick of the super rich getting richer off everyone else's misery.
Flo? Where's your worthless assistant? Why isn't she at her post?
Eb? I don't know, Sarge. I haven't seen her. Hi, Martina.
I think I just saw Eb over by the garage. She's with that Earth guy.
Wait till I get my hands on her. Who trained this miserable squad anyway?
You did.
I dislike that Sean guy. I really dislike that Sean guy.
You dislike Gerald more.
And then when we had to start fighting the others, that was the blade of grass that broke the elephant's back. We had to get our act together.
The others?
You know.
No, I don't.
Oh, well, yeah, Sean, you wouldn't know. Okay. Anyway, the bankers were arrested, their assets confiscated, and the government put us back on a solid financial footing. A new currency backed 100% by something with a known finite quantity.
Backed by Krypton.
Yes.
So you keep Krypton gas in big pressurized vaults?
No, it doesn't have to be anywhere in particular. And it doesn't need to belong to anyone. It just exists. Our scientists figured out how much total atmosphere we had and what percentage of it was Krypton. Multiplied it out. Then the planetary government issued new paper money. 1 kryptonite for every atom of Krypton.
So you can't actually use kryptonite notes to buy Krypton gas and take it home with you.
No, we can't. But the notes are still backed by Krypton, in the sense that the money supply stays constant. It's kind of like that old system with the donut-shaped rocks on Shut Your Yap Island. Only different. Anyhow, it works.
Well, then maybe there's hope for Earth, too.
I don't think so.
Ab!
In here, Sarge!
Where have you been, Private? We're all on duty. At the dance. In the living room.
I was just in here talking to Seamus, sir.
That would be kind of hard, since Seamus is at the dance.
You mean, this is...
Uh-huh.
Oh, my mistake.
What have you been talking about?
Oh, I was just trying to sell him a car insurance policy.
Yeah, that's about it.
Well, that would be kind of difficult, since his car is on the wrong planet.
Yeah, now I see why he wasn't buying.
Look, you're a member of the Planetary Guard. A substandard one, but still a member.
Only 6 weeks in the summer and 1 weekend a month, sir.
And whenever called upon. Today you're not a salesperson. So stop selling insurance and act like a guard. Now get back to your post.
Coming in a sec, sir. Thank you.
Salesperson?
Oh, you're gonna love political correctness. Nothing can say man in it anymore. Except maybe manhole. Sorry for keeping you. I'm surprised your pants are still dry. I mean, your jumpsuit, your whatever.
I really just wanted to get away from Agent Z and to be alone.
Well, I'm leaving.
Gonna tell me about the others?
I can't.
Why not?
Look, I might be a substandard soldier, but you're the one who can't handle the truth.
I'm really going to do this alone.
We'll be taking care of the other half here. If everything goes well, I'll join you soon. But first, carry out your assignment and secure the ship.
They're nice people. They don't understand the gravity of it. I wish there were some other way.
But there isn't.
I know, and I'm ready. I'll just tell her I'm checking in on her because she's sick.
Everything's worked perfectly so far. Giving her more of the drug this afternoon and him just a tad. I was hoping she'd stay behind in the ship tonight, and sure enough, she did.
Divide and conquer. Wouldn't it have been easier just to kill them as soon as they'd arrived?
Yes, but there are other considerations.
Like what?
Hope.
Hope?
Hope is stronger than fear. It gets things done. Our job is to gather data. The more they trust us, the more they'll tell us on their own the things we can't learn from hacking into their communications. And the more times we shake their hands, the more we can parasitize their memories. He took a good dose in the wine just now, but that's a slow-acting drug. He'll be disoriented soon, and we'll put him to bed here and give him some more drugs, fuss over him, act as though we're helping him. I'll hold his hand as much as possible. When he finally realizes that he's dying, all of his really important memories will come up to the surface, and I'll grab them from him. After he's dead, I'll put on his jumpsuit and join you at the ship. Are you all right, Sean? Never better. You look a little peaked. Let us know if you need anything, okay? Will do. You know, maybe I'll step out for a bit. I hear the fresh Martian night air does wonders. Puts the red back in your cheeks. You're an interesting man, Sean. I'm going to miss you when you leave. Maybe I can even catch a glimpse of Earth. It's in conjunction with Venus right now. You should spot the pair of them pretty easily. Just be careful, it's dark out there. Our moon's light isn't very bright. I will, thanks. Think. What did they give me? Should I go back to the ship or attack? Will I ever get to see you again?
Will I ever get to see you?
What do you mean?
Well, it's not often that you get to meet someone from another planet, yet who seems so familiar. Almost makes you want to forget about our differences. Oh, I'm sorry that your wife isn't feeling well. Do I remind you of her?
Of course you do, but you aren't her.
Well, we could pretend. I won't tell anyone. Besides, it'd be a shame to waste all this moon's light.
Sorry, May. I'm not only loyal to my wife, I'm loyal to my home planet. Where is he? Now we'll see who wins. Yes, we will. Semper Fi. Hi. We need to get set for takeoff right away.
Wasn't that always the... Never mind.
The plan was for 2 more days. That ain't a good idea right now.
Why not?
Because in a few minutes there's going to be a whole bunch of Martians coming out here trying to stop us from...
Ah, you're awake.
What are you doing? Where are we going?
Well, you're not going much farther. I just wanted some company for a while. Pretty soon I'll put you in the airlock along with my Martian clothes and anything else that shouldn't be on board, and sayonara. Is that the way they say it? But me, I'm going to Terra Luna.
Earth.
Yes, I need to watch my dialect. Thank you. Once I jettison your body, I can make up any story I want. But I better be careful on how I tell it.
I don't understand any of this.
Well, as you probably guessed, I'm not your wife, April. I'm May.
Yeah, I got that. You can fly this thing because you stole April's memories and mine when you shook our hands?
That's right.
But how can you be here? I killed you. I killed them all.
Who did you kill?
I overheard you and Seamus in the bedroom plotting to bump us off. That's why I excused myself to go out in the backyard. I need to figure out what to do. Try to get the drugs to wear off.
Good move on your part. Bad one on ours.
Then I ran into you out there. Somehow you changed into another outfit. And you tried to hit on me. Just a distraction technique, I assume. So I shot you. Then Seamus and Agent Z came out and I shot them too.
With this puny little thing?
Yes.
We monitored your conversations on the ship. You were under orders not to take any weapons out. And you agreed.
I decided that only applied to the weapons they issued me. That little thing, that's my very own. I carry it with me all the time, and I transferred it to my jumpsuit just on a hunch.
Well, I can see that when I rise to power on Terra, on Earth, I've got to make some serious inroads against the Second Amendment.
How will you do that?
For one thing, subliminal messaging on TV, magazines, billboards. A lot of your big companies do that already. I'll just spread some bribe money around, get some of the messages altered. There's plenty of other ways, too. Some of your famous jurists have said hard cases make bad laws.
I hope you fail.
I'll succeed.
I still don't understand. I put an insurance round in the heads of the other two, but I skipped you because I was sure I shot you through the heart the first time. How could you recovered and beat me back here? Are you guys totally different from us biologically?
Not in that way, we're not. You shoot us in the heart or the head, we die too, just like you.
Then what happened?
That wasn't me you shot. It was my twin sister.
Sister?
June.
Oh, brother.
Sister.
So she was around all day, just staying out of sight?
Yes. You killed my husband, too. Oh, I don't fault you. You were just doing your job, but I have to exact revenge.
I presume you killed my wife. We're even.
You killed my husband and my sister. We'll be even when you're in that airlock.
Why are you doing this? We meant you no harm. We were just exploring.
The people you were working for knew that our civilization existed. They sent you to Mars to probe us for weaknesses and to test our resolve.
That's a lie.
No, what they told you was a lie. Otherwise, you wouldn't have accepted the mission.
So what are you trying to accomplish?
have to weaken you in order to protect ourselves.
Why can't we just all live in peace?
We've seen your TV broadcast. We know how you explore. Your high-tech societies always take advantage of simpler indigenous peoples. Subjugate them or kill them off. Give them diseases, take their lands, destroy their food supply. Your leaders are driven by greed. They do whatever they want because they can. You really expect us to believe that they would treat Martians better than they do their fellow Earthlings?
No, I suppose not. So all that mishmash about Martians abolishing war and stuff was that true or a lie?
Oh, it's true. But we didn't tell you how it came about. And that's something your people can't know.
But you can tell me because my days are numbered?
Your minutes are numbered. Yes, I can tell you. It wasn't because we didn't have greed in our nature. We can be just as bad as you are. And we used to be. But now we live according to enlightened self-interest.
How?
We were united against a common enemy.
Who?
He's on Fifth.
What?
The fifth planet, Jupiter.
Could you sort of start at the beginning?
55 of your Earth years ago, when our technology was the same as yours is now, we sent exploratory missions to Jupiter. The Jovians' technology was like ours is now. They wanted nothing to do with us. They viewed any contact with us as a threat. They attacked us hard. But we prevailed. Exactly how isn't important. The point is, even though we were victorious, we didn't wipe them out. They're still there. Still a threat. So, with that hanging over our heads, there was no alternative but for Mars to unite as one. Always be vigilant. And get over our petty differences.
I see.
So, that was half our battles won. The other half was fending off the invasion that we knew would eventually come from Earth. That's what I'm working on right now.
So you invaded...
He explored.
Jupiter and defeated them, and you're okay with that. But when we explore...
Invade.
You're okay with repulsing us.
Absolutely.
That doesn't sound fair.
Fairness has nothing to do with it. As I said, it's self-interest. A pair of diverse cultures can never coexist as equals. One will always dominate the other. And we refuse to be dominated by either you or Jupiter.
So instead, you're going to dominate both of us?
No.
No?
With Jupiter, we have no choice, since our civilizations are fully aware of one another. But with Earth, there's still a way out. We don't want to fight an eternal two-front war, so that's what I'm being sent to do. Defuse the situation.
How?
I radioed the Martian High Council. Right now, they're destroying the rest of the satellites that you put in orbit around us. They're also cloaking our radio frequencies, so they'll be harder for Earth to detect. And I have their blessing to attempt the earthbound phase of the plan. Although, thanks to you, it will be without Seamus by my side.
What's the plan?
I have to be promoted as the brave heroine of the Mars expedition. Convince Earth that Mars is uninhabited and uninhabitable. Dangerous, has no minerals or riches of any kind worth making the trip for, etc.
But you said some people on Earth already know about your civilization.
Oh, they know, but right now they can't speak. I need to infiltrate the seats of power, both the visible and the invisible. and fix things that they never dare speak. With no knowledge of anything on Mars to covet, you Earthlings will remain short-sighted, using up all your energy in fighting each other. It's my job to see that things stay that way. Exactly that way.
That's a monumental task for a 60-year-old with nobody to pass the torch to.
Another thing about us that Earth cannot know. We have the technology to virtually shut down the aging process. Allow a person to live for about 800 Earth years. We just don't use it very often.
But you brought some of this technology with you?
I did. Just for personal use. I need to stay alive until I've worked myself out of a job.
How will you know when that is?
The council has set out certain benchmarks for me to try to meet. America is the most dangerous entity that we have to neutralize. They don't know their own strength, and we want to see to it that they never do. I'll work with the military-industrial complex. They want the same things that I do, but for different reasons. To keep America embroiled in no-win wars. Deplete their resources, exhaust their resolves. If they have to rearm, then the Soviets will have to do the same thing. Eventually, the USSR will go broke and hopefully dissolve. That'll take care of the other main threat.
You really want America to be the only superpower?
A lot of small adversaries can be more effective than one large one. And there can be non-military challenges too. Shortages, pesticides, genetically engineered foods, irresponsible corporate behavior, the developed world being in electronic communications with itself and fighting constantly.
That sounds pretty ugly.
Remember, we Martians already know a general outline of how your technology will develop in the next 50 years. We've been through it. So I'll be in a position to help nudge it in a certain direction. Hopefully Earth is going to get a nasty surprise around 2015 or shortly thereafter. If I can get America to abandon NASA before then, to say that its primary mission is no longer space exploration, then they'll be totally unprepared for the visit.
NASA abandoning its mission? That's ridiculous.
You want to succeed, you want to dream big. If I can pull that off, I could die in peace, knowing that Mars is the last thing on America's mind.
Well, I understand what you're doing. And from your point of view, it makes sense. But as I told your sister, I'm loyal to my home planet. So just in case you wondered whether you could get my help, have me take your husband's place? No, you can't.
You're an honorable man. And you know too much. That's why you have to die. Will you get in by yourself, or do we have to do this the hard way?
I'll get in. But I have one more question.
Okay.
Why did your sister have to hide herself from us? So you were twins. April had 2 doubles on Mars. Big deal. It's an exception to the rule.
It's not the exception. It is the rule.
What?
On Mars, females are always born as twins. And the twins always marry the same man.
Okay, I gotta wrap my head around that one. Why would it be that way?
Isn't it obvious?
Not to me.
It's because Mars has 2 moons.
That's it? That's the explanation? The whole ball of wax?
Yes.
Nothing personal, but I really would have preferred bat, rat, spider crabs. Goodbye, May.
Goodbye, Sean.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Are you telling me that every guy on Jupiter has 12 wives?
No.
Well, thank goodness for that.
Jupiter has more than 12 moons.
What?
Sorry, Sean. Loyalty to my home planet.
I'm the one who recruited you.
Are you a very powerful person?
No, not that powerful. I just do my job. Well, we better let you rest.
Weird hand grip she had. When I questioned her, she was thinking about an unfinished pyramid with 13 tiers with an all-seeing eye and in a capstone. What in the world does that mean? Well, looks like I've got my work cut out for me.
Everyone's having a good time. We're pushing the limits. Everyone's having a good time. Come on, pretty baby. Everyone's feeling fine. The party's on. Now it's time to roll. The party's on. Now it's time to roll. Get with it, or else you got to go. Got a brand new ride and shiny boots. My cooler's loaded, it's time to ski. We're pushing the limits, everyone's having a good time. Come on, pretty baby, everyone's feeling fine. Shiny boots, my cooler's loaded, it's time to ski.